You other Sammy Chicas need to get your crypto coffee to wake up and out of ditches so you go from rags to bitches.
Hello.
Hey there.
Oh my God. You should have seen me because just in the last 5 seconds before I came on, I remembered I didn't have my hex.com sweatshirt on, so I had to run
I
and
love
get
it. Yeah, costume change. Perfect. Yeah. And
last second.
yeah, I want to give you your full 20 minutes here to discuss security. You've spoken at many Hex conferences, and I'm really pleased to have you back at this 6th annual conference. Everybody hit the like and subscribe button and share this out. And thanks so much for being here. I'll let you take it away.
Thanks to be back. Just put me on full screen and I'll start. Okay. Ideally full screen if you can. Gonna be a better show. Okay. So welcome to the crypto security crash course. I will be talking to especially new people. Maybe you'll get the most out of it, but I'll go through a lot of things pretty fast. And even if you are not new and you've been at it for a while, I'll hope you get something out of it and maybe you'll cover a blind spot that you had. So let's go. Hello to everybody in the chat as well. See Sandy Beach, Will, Susie. Hello, hello. Let's go for this. So the first and most important part is organization. Organize as if your $100 in crypto are worth 1 million already, and you'll save yourself a lot of headaches. Create a crypto-only email. Get 2 USB keys or a booklet and write down anything that might be important and that you might be forgetting in the future. So, for example, logins, passwords, steps for websites, ICOs, stakes, LPs, farms attached, etc. Hint and reminders for seed storage location, hint and reminders for encryption or your cipher, backup of transaction history, very important for tags and tracking, where you send something, maybe you have a wallet, you're sending, I don't know, you're rich and you're sending 10 ETH somewhere and you forget about it, tracking helps you. Any lending or borrowing with friends, you know, who did I give, how much, when are they supposed to get it back, and so on. Make separate wallets, main, cold, LP, trading, degen, NFTs, tests, whatever it is. You can do as many as you want, and the more separation you have, the easier it will get, and it will add security, because if one wallet gets compromised, maybe not everything is lost, right? Or maybe one passphrase is only compromised. But yeah, hopefully it doesn't get compromised at all. And set calendar reminders, for example, for hex stakes or important ICO dates, whatever. Maybe when you like the lending and borrowing, you need to give something back at a specific time. Next, password and logins. Create easy to remember passwords. This is super important. And I have a great picture for that. You see the Troubadour and free password. It has 28 bits of entropy, but it's super hard to remember. There is uppercase, lowercase, special characters, numbers, letters, whatever. It's not easy to remember. But then the correct horse battery stable, it has 44 bits of entropy because it's longer. So it's just more complicated. There are 4 random common words in it. It's super hard to guess, super hard to brute force, but it's easy to remember for you as a human. So you can write it down or have a picture as a reminder, and it's going to be easy for you. Save backups of your 2FA QR codes. This is going to help you. For example, if you have an exchange login or your email login, and then somehow you lose your wallet, you use your authenticator app or whatever. Now, if you have a backup of your original 2FA QR code, you can just get back in without having to contact support, or maybe your whole account is lost because you don't have the 2FA anymore. And this just helps you to get back into your account without any headaches. Disable SMS authentication. This is because of SIM swap attacks. Just look into it. Very bad thing. And here's an example of how you could write down and note your email and your logins and so on in a secure way. So you have your Gmail, for example, my email at gmail.com. You have your secure password, the horse battery stable. You have a note and your recovery email, for example, or any other. And then you have your separate Gmail account, HexBeliever33 Gmail. It has a different password. You also have a reminder for the password and a note, 2FA, Google Earth, you remove the SMS, and you have your recovery Proton email or whatever. So it's just an example. Next is a wallet note example. You have your type, your address, your passphrase, and a note. And the passphrase, specifically the first 3 wallet addresses, are on your first passphrase. So you note it as A, this is the passphrase, and then you have your backup somewhere. So this is your main test and trading wallet. And then on your second passphrase, for example, you have the B1 wallet, B2, B3. Those are the sequential derivation created addresses. You have your stakes, your LP, your GGen memes. And if you organize it in this way, you cannot forget you have your specific tokens in a separate address. You have your stakes ending maybe in 2025, and you forgot to do that because that was 2 weeks ago. So yeah, this is the example. Next, learn crypto basic. Risk is the stuff you don't know. It's easy to get lost. So here are just a few topics that you should look into it, because I cannot go into them in detail, but you should know about them. Your crypto is stored on the blockchain, not in your wallet software. Learn how it works. Seed words, passphrase, private and public keys, derivation path. It's important to know how the backend works for this. How to unstuck transactions. What are RPC settings? How to revoke allowances. Anything about mining, validating, staking, farming, liquidity providing. The more you use of this stuff, the more you should know the minute differences and so on and how they work. DEX, Railgun, Tornado Cash, also very good to know how they work specifically, especially because there are so many different type of DEXs, what they do, what's technology they use, etc. And for all of this, you can find more detailed videos on my YouTube. It's Bound Crypto on YouTube. And we also have t.me hex settings 37. This is a channel where we combined the admins in the Telegram, the Hex Telegram. We combined a lot of information, help videos, guides, links to websites and so on. All the things they are there. You should have a look at it. Next, wallet software. There is internetmoney.io. It's pulse chain optimized. It does have Chrome and mobile. I wouldn't recommend using mobile phones in general, but if you have like a test wallet or so, it's okay to do. Or just maybe a small amount on your mobile if you really need it on the go. Pulsewallet.org. It's a Rabbit clone. Also has Chrome and mobile support. OKX wallet supports Pulse Chain, which is nice natively. So you have information and data available. Then Rabi.io, it's a really good wallet, but unfortunately they don't support it natively anymore. You can still use it on Pulse Chain via custom network settings, but you won't have like graphs and dollar amounts and so on. And then there is MetaMask.io. Funnily enough, it's the most used wallet. It's like something ridiculous, like 80% people still use that. But it's mostly buggy. So I suggest to avoid it, but it's sometimes you cannot get away from it because go.hex.com, for example, only works natively with MetaMask wallet because it was created way before there were any other wallets around and even before Wallet Connect was around. So you're kind of stuck using that one. Unless you try Internet Money or Rabbit.io, they have an emulate feature, so they try to look like MetaMask. It works sometimes it doesn't. So my suggestion, get comfortable with all wallets, install them each on a separate Google Chrome profile, so you have access to them, and then if one of them somehow breaks down, you still have another alternative that you can use, and you will be familiar if you already tested them a little bit before. Next, passphrase. Very important to know, and you should use one if you can. You cannot use one for hex stakes that you did before, but maybe you want to introduce it for your next wallet or your next stakes, hex stakes for the future. The little gist, you have your 12 seed words or 24 or 33 or whatever system you use. If you have no passphrase, it's generating wallet A1, A2, A3, etc. You have unlimited amount, but you can also choose to select a passphrase. In this case, the passphrase is Martha. You should have a more secure passphrase, but it would generate B1, B2, B3 wallet, also endless amount of wallets. And if you use another one, John's Best Steakhouse 97, it's going to generate a completely different set of wallets again. It's going to be C1, C2, C3, etc. And each of those will be separate separate organizations, separate security, because if somebody finds your 12 seed words and you use no passphrase, he has direct access to it. But if you have your seed word and your passphrase, somebody would have to find both of them to get access to your crypto. So if you store your passphrase separately, you have more security from it. So passphrase creation. Ideally 12 to 36 characters, so it's not easily brute forceable, 12 plus, but also not too long, 36, because you do want to have an easy way of writing it down or have your backups in steel later. Theoretically, the max length on the Trezor is 50, and on the Ledger it's 100. So you have to be careful with that before you create it. Ideally, you use numbers, letters, ideally one non-dictionary word, so it's harder to brute force. And I would suggest to stick to upper or lowercase letters, because again, it's going to be hard with deciphering on the backup in steel. Is it like a capital letter U? Is it a small one? So it's just easier to stick to one. And avoid special characters. You're mostly limited by the metal stamps later on in your security journey. There is the and sign, which you have on spec on cases like this. So this one is the Odin. This one has upper and lowercase. But like I said, I would stray away from it. And then you have the and special character, the squiggly and the Benecreat as well. This one is upper case only. It has the letters, the numbers, and the and sign. So you'll think ahead of it a bit about it, and then you'll make your passphrase from it. Next, keep your seed words private. That means offline. Best practices: never type your seed words into a keyboard. Never type your passphrase into a keyboard. Never share your words with another person. Never take a picture of your seed words. Never send your seed words by email or SMS. Never store your seed words on the cloud. Never store seed words in a password manager. Lots of people got hacked from this last one. That's super sad. Seed backup. Start with 2 seed word backups in paper. This is usually a small paper that you get with your hardware wallet. And then once you have everything tested, you transition ideally to A2, 3 or 4 steel or titanium G2 backup. You can find them as washers, or you can find them as a plate. You can have small plates, you can have bigger plates, whatever floats your boat. You should avoid anything that is iron, and especially if it's zinced, because when you stamp it, it breaks the seal, the zinc steel, and then it becomes corroded, it becomes faded, you cannot read it. And laminated paper and paper, they fade over time, they are easily burned, they are getting wet and can just dissolve, and you won't be able to recover from your paper backup anything. Avoid kludgy backup systems. I'm going to show a few pictures about that. And in my opinion, the best are washers and plates. Ideally, you should also have 2 backups in different locations. You can have one encrypted seed words, and then you store your cipher in a different location. This makes it more secure. Or you have alternatively the passphrase, and then you have the seed words in one location and then the passphrase in a second location. So again, that's separated. So somebody would have to find both to restore your and get access to your wallet. Always test your backup. If it works, then you can burn the paper backup. And attempt to restore from your backup yearly. This way, you know that it works. You know, you have your peace of mind, you know how to do it, and you make sure that everything is up to code. This is one of those kludgy systems. You heat them, they warp, they break, they're flimsy. Try to avoid those systems. Really get something like really sturdy, like a plate. And here is also the difference between engraving and stamping. Stamping is way clearer and better. This is why I suggest always stamping. And here is an example for a torch test. These are M8 washers with A2 steel. They are heated. A house fire burns up to 1,400 degrees Celsius. This torch is a bit hotter because it's melting it. But even after melting and separating, you can still see that the backup is completely clear. You can restore your seed words from that. And they survive major damages. Corrosion is not an issue and so on. So that's great. Here's what backups would look like. You can get them really thick and big if you want, or you can have smaller backups. You can get them up to like 3 washers thin. And how would you do that with the words? You can use 1 word per washer or double-sided. So you have, if you have a 24-word seed, you have double-sided, you can put them on 12 washers. 1 word, the number of your seed word, and then redundancy, this would be the bib number. If you want it a little bit more compact, you can go with 3 words on 1 washer, and then double-sided, you double up. And the most compact I could get it to is 4 words. So if you have 4 words, double-sided, 3 washers, you get the 24 seed word onto that one. And it's very tiny. And this is what it would look like, how you make your seed backup. You have a little jig. You don't really need it, but it's easier with, so that it's stamped. Check, you go letter by letter, and then you have your seed words on your plate or on your washers. Next, best practices. Not your keys, not your coins. Transfer crypto from exchanges to wallet address that you control. Never leave it on exchanges. Revoke approvals frequently and never, ever approve on your main or cold storage wallet. Always transfer stuff that you want for long-term on a wallet that you never interact with any contract, do approvals or anything on it. Double check addresses and copy paste. All transactions are final. So if you do a mistake, if you copy the, I've had so many people that came to me and said, oh, I copied the contract address and then I sent to the contract address instead of sending to the address that I wanted to send to. So be careful with that. Always double and triple check. Avoid using crypto on a phone. It's high risk. Many attack vectors, bugs, other applications try to steal information from your crypto app and so on. So ideally use a PC, get separate browser profile for your crypto so you don't mix it up with your normal daily uses. And make sure that you type websites yourself. Avoid Googling website because they are in the search algorithm. They put themselves on top. And then, for example, if you search hex.com, there might be an ad that leads you to hexgo.com or something, and that's a scam site that steals all your crypto. Be careful. Always confirm information from multiple sources, be it if something you hear or some update comes up, make sure that you check the Twitter, check the Telegram, ask somebody who is trustworthy in the community, go to the Instagram, whatever it is, just multiple sources, make sure that the information is really correct. And you can ask for help only in public Telegram chats like the Hex channel or the Hex security channel, where admins, they help you with anything security related. And get any free antivirus, for example, Bitdefender. It's free, it's easy, it runs pretty silent in the background. Don't bother with VPNs, they don't do anything for your crypto security, but an antivirus you should get. And for onboarding the right way, I have a big list here. 14 points, 15 points. Pause the stream if you want to look at it. I'm not going to go through it, but this is the way you should onboard somebody, and check maybe if you did all the points. Quick note on a crypto-only laptop. Separation is better and protection for protection and for threat prevention. It's reduced attack service, it's improved peace of mind. And when should you get one? I suggest from 3 to 6 months of living cost invested. So if you have 100K salary, 30 to 60K in crypto, then you get a $300 laptop. It's 1% of your investment. And let's imagine you do a 10x of your portfolio. Now you are securing or have additional security of 300K on your 300 laptop. So that's worthwhile. Anything under it, not worth it. But what you always should get is a crypto, is a hardware wallet. Crypto hardware wallet. So that's before a laptop. That's the first thing you should get. But the crypto-only laptop is a nice level up. Here, and I did a big free a big series with free videos with much detail about brands, setup, what you need, how much RAM, etc. Check it out on my YouTube. And this is where my 20 minutes end. Maddie, thank you very much. Thanks for watching. Share the security info with your loved ones. And behold my stuff. Check me out. Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. Check out my Etsy shop. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for going over those critical details. Having security as a part of the Hex conference is indispensable. And you've been a community member from the beginning. So I really want to thank you for speaking at this year's Hex conference. Where can people find more of your content?
Yeah, I'm BPK Das Baum on everything. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much
Twitter, YouTube,
for
whatever.
speaking here, and really appreciate it.
Cheers. See you next time.
Yeah.
Bye.
Up next, we have a Wild SJ and Jexa after this short interlude.